Antigravity Batteries offers the lightest, most powerful, and technologically advanced lithium-ion motorsports and power sports batteries available. Save 70% in weight over lead-acid batteries while gaining better starting and handling performance. From daily drivers to world-class racing, we offer a number of choices to best fit your specific needs. Batteries for motorcycle power sports or automotive applications are first ever, that's right, first ever built-in jump starting, or choose from our ultra-compact batteries for race use or custom builds. Check us out at antigravitybatteries.com. Hey guys and gals, how's it going? Kris Keefer here, RacerXOnline.com. Another 2023 KTM video. Again, we're at RedBud MX in Buchanan, Michigan. Love this place. As you can see in the background, tons of greenery, much different than the brown California desert that I'm used to being in. But we're here to test this 250 SXF 2023 edition. If you guys watched our factory edition videos, basically nothing has changed over from the course of the 22.5 versus now the 23. But now we are here on East Coast soft dirt. We're going to ride it here, give you some feedback, what the bike's like to ride, what can we improve, and also a little bit of settings for you soft dirt folks out there. So stay tuned, be right back. Okay, KTM 250 SXF 2023 edition. I brought my son along with me to RedBud. He's very lucky to do stuff like this. We haven't been to RedBud together. I've been here one time. Quick impression of RedBud, Aden.
To be honest, I got asked this multiple times today, and my quick impression was just, wow. That's it, just wow on how I'm lost at words just because of how good the track is. Like, it's crazy how much
Different dirt than California.
yeah, way different. It's like the track here, it changes in some areas. So like you'll get in the back by the leap and it's all loamy and sandy, and you get up top and it's kind of a hard clay based. I like that a lot.
Yes, we had a great time. Thanks to the Ritchie family for having us out here. So the 2023 KTM 250 SXF, basically you can just copy paste from the factory edition, right? So you can go back to our older video and look at that for the settings. So we did try a couple settings today, but the engine feel, the chassis feel, ergonomically is all the same from the factory edition. So I want to point out a couple different things. Obviously the clamps go back to the stock clamps, and of course you have white plastic and the wheels. The hubs are a little bit different and the wheels, so that's a little bit of a softer feel. The clamp itself is more of a rigid type of clamp versus the factory edition clamp, so that does change some things when we're out here on RedBud here. So for me, and I'll take it to Aden here in a minute, 250 is probably, for me, this is probably one of the best 250Fs on top end. It just keeps revving, keeps pulling. For me, as an older guy, I can just keep it on and it will keep revving. Second gear pulls very long. I can shift the third gear a little bit early. I'm in map 2. I like map 2. I'm a little bit heavier. Aden, you came back earlier and said map 2, that's too much for you. So engine feel for you.
So on map 2, it felt like it had a little too much snap for me off the bottom. So I changed it to map 1, and I stayed in quick shift, which I did not do that on the factory edition. I think that is one reason why I didn't like it so much. But so yeah, map 1.
So you prefer quick shift?
Yes, actually, it's a little easier to shift, and you don't get the usual hang up like on the old models you do.
So that's actually interesting for me because out in California, our dirt isn't this loamy. So this kind of makes sense for me. Quick shift is sensitive. So I always was thinking with quick shift, off the start, it could be an advantage when it's loamy and deep and you got to hit that shifter really quick to get in the third gear out of the gate. Sometimes in loamy, soft conditions, it's tough to get a shift under load. Last year's KTM, from second to third gear, it was notching, very tough to get into third gear under load. I did notice I didn't do quick shift that much today. I prefer standard, but shifting from second to third is much better than last year's model. So I do like that. He's new school, so maybe the quick shift is more of that type of thing. I'm more old school. I don't use the clutch anyway when I shift that much, but for you East Coast guys in softer conditions, this could actually be a benefit just to make your shifts more positive. So that is nice. But overall, the engine here at RedBud, easy to use, man. You come into a corner and you roll the throttle on in second gear, and it gets in and out of there. The bike feels light, even though these bikes are new. KTM's take a while to break in, 6 to 7 hours. But man, like, very snappy, very responsive. The FI tuning is very clean and crisp. I do notice that I would like a little bit more bottom end for me, just to kind of be able to lug it if I need to in third gear. But overall, man, this is a real racy engine for me. You're on another brand of bike, stock to stock. I still feel like this bike has more mid to top.
To be honest, from the bike that I ride at home compared to this, I feel like, yeah, mid to top, way better than the bike I ride at home. My bike that I ride at home has a little more bottom end. I agree with you. I would like just a little bit more bottom to get me in and out a little bit quicker. But going down the straightaways, man, is so fast and it pulls so hard.
Yeah, you think you're going to be able to shift, and you can just actually leave it in second gear. It'll still pull. So for me, that is a benefit being older and you're getting lazier. Chassis-wise, we complained about a little bit of a heavier steering, cornering feel back at home on the factory edition. I don't notice it here as much because I have so much traction. I can lean in these ruts really nice. What's nice about riding back east is the ruts will reform. So you have a line, it gets blown out, 6 inches down, you got another rut, and you can keep building up different lines. So that is a benefit. Very different, you know. We have a lot of these intros in California, and the bike feels different than it does out here. I concur with you guys. For me, we should do more of this stuff back east for you guys back east because the bike does feel different. I don't feel like the bike is as heavy feeling here as it is in California. Maybe that's because we don't have as much to bank off of. Here at RedBud today, it was prepped. It was nice. Area 1 of the corner gets in very good. I have a lot of front-end steering, and I'm a front-end steering guy, so I have a lot of front-end feel. Area 2, I felt heavy back at home. I don't feel that here, so that is different. And then Area 3, I can get in and out, and that's when this engine really starts to come to life out of Area 3, makes the chassis feel light, and the suspension actually works better. We actually got some bumps coming down the hills today. A little bit soft on the air fork for me. I felt like we could have used a little bit more air pressure.
Yeah, it felt like it would wanna tuck in some areas. I noticed coming down the hill before the big flag jump that when I'd come down the off camera section, I feel like my front little oversteer. Yeah.
Yeah, so it does get a little bit low. 10.5, 10.6 is like the norm for this bike. I would go up, even for him, he's 135 pounds. I would go up to 10.8 bar. And then for me, I would go up to 10.9 bar. That gives you a little bit extra hold up. That improved. The track did get a little bit harder today, but the bumps got taller, so you want a little bit more hold up. So I would go up a little bit stiffer and then back out the compression a few clicks when you go up on the air pressure. 105 millimeters of sag. Otherwise, this bike, you could take this thing. When they say race ready, I'm going to say 90% of the time KTM is correct. Their bikes, the four-stroke line is race ready. You can take this thing and race it and be competitive, especially in the amateur world. I've been doing a lot of stuff with him lately, and these bikes are constantly getting good starts. They're up front. And with a little bit of work and a little bit of love, the suspension does come around. Air fork technology, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's not bad. Actually, I like it here more than I do back at home. At home, it's edgy, square edge, hard packed, and I notice the bike is a little bit more rigid. I don't notice the rigidity here. You mentioned that to me earlier.
I did notice that.
It's a little bit more compliant for you than the factory edition.
Yeah, for some, I don't know why. I think it was probably because I ate crap on the factory edition and I was out on it from that day forward. But I did notice a little more compliant, a little bit more stable coming into like the little more chattery sections. I did notice it there, and I had no problems with it at all compared to last year's bike. Last year's bike, I complained a lot about just
Being rigid.
yeah, really rigid.
Yeah, and here at RedBud, you're on the edges of your tires quite a bit for a soft track. Off cambers, you're on the edges, you got bumps. So for me, the bike is much more stable than last year's bike, off throttle and on throttle. At home, we're a lot on the edge of our tires on throttle. Here, I'm on the edges of my tires off throttle, so it's a different feeling, but it still is more compliant and stable. He might be feeling a little bit more comfort because of the wheels. There is a stiffer wheel on the factory edition, and yes, that does make a difference. So when you guys do buy aftermarket wheels, sometimes those are stiffer. So you got to be careful when you buy stiffer wheels. It does make the bike feel different. The clamp itself is a little bit rigid. I do get a little bit more vibration with this clamp versus the factory edition clamp, but you can always go get a factory edition clamp, put it on, and there you go. I would stick Pro Taper bars on here to get more compliancy, a better feel, and less vibration. So overall, very fun bike to ride. I like this bike more here than I do back at home. In softer condition, it really shines. It gets up on top of the dirt with this free engine feel. So KTM did an excellent job with this 250 SXF. Hopefully, we get this thing back at home. These will be in dealerships end of the month, June sometime. 4-strokes will be there way earlier than the 2-stroke lineup, but nonetheless, you should see these in your dealers within the next month or so. We'll put more time on this back at home and give you some more feedback, but settings will be up on KeeferInkTesting.com. You can always email me, Chris at KeeferInkTesting.com. Happy to help you and give you some more information. Stay tuned for more videos here from RedBud on RacerXOnline.com, and we'll be back shortly with a lot more videos. And don't forget, 12 issues, $30. Subscribe to the magazine. Get a free gift. Yes, we still read magazines. Aden? No, he doesn't. See you later.